course, on Saturday, Callum, we had a bit of an interesting match-up at Alinda Grove between Clarence and University for the Andrew Hoppitt Memorial Trophy, a bit of a sentimental occasion, but it was a very interesting game and a very interesting result, probably one that we wouldn't have predicted, especially the scoreline.
Yes, after their performance last week against South Hobart, Jules, you'd expected that University's defence were perhaps up to the task of at least stifling teams' creativity, but it didn't happen at Alinda Grove. They started okay, but they were without big name players, Julian Proud and Pierce in the goals for them, and he was replaced by Rory McCullum, who started the game well, made some really good saves, but unfortunately there's only so much you can keep out. And fittingly, it was Hoppitt who opened the scoring for Clarence in the 7th minute. University finally gave way, and he finished nicely to round McCullum, who couldn't keep that one out. It was a nice finish into the bottom right-hand corner, and that sort of set the tone for the game for the rest of the Saturday, Jules.
Yes, Callum, it was a dominant performance throughout from Clarence. They had players at the back such as Matthew Lewis and Grant Malcolm, who were just pulling the strings in defence. Obviously, Cairns had another fantastic game, and they doubled their lead in the 24th minute when Nicholson forced home a corner, and it really was all one-way traffic, that game. Obviously, University were really lacking a focal point up front in the absence of Julian Proud, and maybe when Peace comes back in goal, we might see Rory McCullum, who top scored for University back in 2009 as a striker. Maybe they'll utilise him up front.
Yes, without Proud up front for University, there was no focal point, Jules, and that meant that Malcolm and Lewis, to an extent, could just dictate play from the back for Clarence. They didn't have anyone playing on their shoulders, and it really gave them some licence. And unfortunately, it meant that there was just no pressure. There were a few good, desperate attempts by McCullum and some of the University defenders to really stem the tide, but it didn't do anything. And in the second half, Sekiris had an absolute field day.
So it could have been more at half-time, but 2-0 was the score. And it was a slender lead, but Clarence managed to build on it in the second half. But at half-time, we did see Benny Hamlet, and unfortunately for him, he's had some bad news throughout the week. He tore his ACL in a practice match, and apparently his meniscus has also been torn, and he's copped a bit of a depression fracture as well in his knee. So unfortunately, it's probably going to be a lot of time on the sidelines for Ben, and our thoughts go out to him, and quick recovery hopefully for him. But Clarence, it seems, has found a goal scorer in Emmanuel Sekiris. His quick-fire hat-trick in the second half. He managed to score 3 goals in a 4-minute spell, which is fantastic. His first one came from a pass from Karras, who appears to be having a bit of an impact for Clarence in the midfield. A few seconds later, or 2 minutes later rather, he was able to score again. And then, obviously, his third from a tight angle was an excellent display from Sekiris.
No surprise, Jules, that we missed 2 of those goals, and we do apologise to Sekiris for that.
So at 5-0 after Sekiris' hat-trick, it was all plain sailing for Clarence, but unfortunately they did have a little bit of a concern when Cairns went off with an injury. He appeared to roll his ankle, but we were told after the match that it wasn't serious and he should be right for the match against South Hobart. But between the 5th and 6th goal, there actually was a 23-minute period where there were no goals scored. But in the 81st minute, a corner was floated across from Hoppitt, and there was a push in the back, and Ivan Jozelic pointed to the spot. And fittingly again, Hoppitt stood up as captain and converted. Sekiris then scored another, and it finished 7-0.
Basically, we came here really with 3 things in mind. Obviously, to get a win, to keep a clean sheet was very important, and the most important thing was the shield, keep hold of the shield for Hoppitt. I thought, a lot of players did the right thing today and did their job. I thought we didn't deserve to be 2 down at this stage, but we were, and to their credit, they just played good football and won the game well. So
happy with the performance of Sekiris up front. Obviously, a 4-minute hat trick was pretty impressive.
It was funny because Gaz said before the game, Manny will get a hat trick today, and I said, you've mocked it now. And half time he's no goals and he's shitty and typical Manny, but wow, yeah, I mean, he just destroyed there for about a 5-minute period. So best thing for him, and now with that, hopefully, confidence and form to go into next week. And South, her first home game, couldn't ask for a bigger occasion. So
good for Hoppy to get a couple on the score sheet, of course.
Oh, you can see how you can see how happy Hoppitt was. It means a lot to win this game, and I thought that last one, for him to give that last one to Manny, it really shows the sort of guy Hoppy is. He could have gone for his hat trick, but he went to give Manny the certain goal. So it's good.
And Cairns, what's the issue there?
Oh no, a really light roll, just rolled on over his ankle. Just all reports there, no swelling. So I reckon he'll be back training Tuesday, no problem.
Because he'll obviously be an important player next week against South.
Oh yeah, be nice to have him. He's still out of form. We know he's capable of a lot, but he still hasn't scored goals. Where mind you, he said when he first came that he's not a big goal scorer. So as long as he's setting them up for other blokes, we're all happy.
Oh, both, yeah. The scoreline, not so much, but the performance was absolutely shocking. We weren't in the game at all today. First 10 minutes we came out on fire, but after that, very flat-footed. Defence let us down quite a bit today. We got out of shape. Clarence wanted it more than we did, and yeah, it's not good enough.
A bit disappointing, I guess, after the first 2 performances, which were quite good.
Yeah, of course. We wanted to build on that momentum, and obviously today we certainly didn't do that. So we're going to have to bring it back into the training field and have a look where we went wrong and build on it. That's what it's all about. I mean, teams have bad days and good days. That was a very bad day for us. So it's how we bounce back, I suppose, it counts.
Is it partly due, do you think, to that loss of Proud up front and I guess the leadership he displays for your guys?
Well, I hate mentioning, loss of key players, but, we had a number of players out today. Anyone that knows the squad and saw the squad last week and the week before would have counted 4 players that weren't there through various reasons. Proud is injured. A couple of boys are interstate with work commitments, and one's away, family commitment. But look, you've got to have depth in your squad. All squads have got the same problem as what we have, but yeah, it shows. If you lose 4 key players, your squad is totally different, and that showed on the park today. So hopefully next week the players are back and we can turn this around. It's early days yet, game 3.
What are your thoughts on that 4-minute hat trick?
It was about 4 minutes.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, jeez, yeah, makes me feel better now. I know it's just more happy that we got the win, to be honest.
What are your hopes this season in terms of goal scoring?
Hopefully win it.
The Golden Boot?
Yeah, I'd like to win that, but more importantly, the club win the league. Yeah.
Obviously, after 2 losses and now you've got your first win of the season, it must be a bit of morale in the camp at the moment?
Yeah, a bit now, so we're going to go in and sing it loud. So.